Hope you all had some good summons on the LR Super Saiyan 4's banner. If you decided to go for them, let me know how your summons went. And I assume most of you who are actually, watching this video do actually have this character and you're like, what do I run for this character and what teams do I run them on, etc. Now, they actually have a pretty good leader skill themselves, so we're going to be mainly focusing on this team here. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku, the tag character here. This GT Heroes, Power Wishes, and Power Beyond Super Saiyan, man. Like, these three teams are going to be updated very constantly. We're going to always see GT Heroes, Super Saiyan 4s from GT. We're always going to see, Spirit Bombs or, Goku Black, Zamasu's. I feel like these characters are just gonna pop up pretty frequently. Spirit, like I already talked about Spirit Bombs, but you guys kind of get the point. I think Power Wishes, Trunks is in here. Anything related to the Dragon Balls, like this might not be updated as constantly, but when it does, it has some pretty big hitters. Then Power Beyond Super Saiyan is like every any Super Saiyan past one is in this category. So I think that enough says it. Now, in terms of how to build this guy's team, I feel like the good thing about this character is that they have no restrictions. There's no like big thing that they want, especially for running their own team, because again, as long as there's another GT Heroes or Power Wishes ally in the team, you could actually exchange from turn 1. And even if it's not the case, you still have the exchange on turn 3. And Vegeta is just fine turn 1 by himself anyways. So usually this character is actually able to sit in slot 1 turn 1. You do want to make sure you get the 4 rainbow keysters, in my experience, at least at 55%. This guy could actually take a lot of damage missing this 15% right here, especially before they get this 100% attack and defense, but it's not really too hard considering he double keys for changes. In fact, actually, this is my build for the blues, which, I guess one of the builds for the blues. If you want to check out that video, I do explain in depth kind of everything going on there. But we can go ahead here and select Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now these characters I think are going to be, for the most part, on rotation. Maybe we can even talk about a build where they're floating, because this team, unlike Realm of Gods or something like that, or just a category leader with just one leader skill, has multiple different builds you could go ahead and do. I guess we could firstly talk about like a GT hero centric build. That's probably where this character is going to be looking the best, like when we're running a bunch of these grade 8 power characters. Again, we take a look at this guy's link set. We have Saiyan Roar, GT. These two links specifically are really big. That's what, 35% attack and 20% defense. Such a huge amount from links. And even just Saiyan Roar itself is like multiple links worth of like attack or defense as well. So it's just really awesome. Now I guess, if we're talking about mostly just a GT Heroes kind of setup here, we could actually sort by only GT Heroes if we wanted to, but actually I'm not going to. We'll probably bring up Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I think this guy is going to be just extremely useful for many of these characters on the team, and he's probably the second best option of just like GT Heroes himself. I mean, I think a lot of people talk about this Gogeta 4 as if he's like dead or anything like that, but he's still actually quite good, and he still is able to handle his own really, really well. The great thing about Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta being a leader as well is I feel like before with GT Heroes, you ran this guy as your leader, and it's like, okay, you don't maybe have as much HP as other teams. But another thing that we can go ahead and talk about is the 2 other allies you needed besides himself. Now, of course, if you ran this guy's team, you're gonna get that up, but like if we're talking about him on other teams, it's like, okay, you have like a really strong option in this guy and this guy, or maybe this guy and this guy, but it's like beyond that, you might not really run a lot of these other characters potentially. But now this Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta I think is such a very useful option, and I think he's always just gonna be a good character. Like, I feel like this character is a bit dodge or die. This character doesn't do that much in terms of damage until defuse, but Vegeta 4, again, he's also a character that's not doing a lot of damage, which is why I think this guy being on rotation could be super important, because okay, this guy's not only giving the 3 key and 70% defensive support, but he's also carrying the team with the amount of damage he's going to be able to do. And I think that's why it's like this guy will be kind of one of the first characters I will put on the team. And again, look at the links we share: 85% attack and 25% defense from links in general. Again, we have even shocking speed, I believe, as well, which is such a nice key link overall. Now, for the next option here, again, if we're kind of focusing on a G-tier-centric team, it really does depend on like what you're doing. I feel like there's multiple characters you can go ahead and select here. Even then, you know, I'm gonna... Like, who would I put for the second team? Again, like, we can go specifically to GT Heroes, which is, I believe, right here. Again, we can click done. You could also throw Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the team, but I know a lot of people might not have Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so that's really the biggest issue right now. This guy hasn't gotten easy again. Yeah, we look at just like GT Heroes specifically. I mean, you kind of do just have to run the physical Super Saiyan 4s, which again, they are a very good character still, and they share basically all the exact same links, but you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about when it comes to this, no? That's like the biggest issue when it comes to that is obviously I would be ideally nice to have maybe another Super Saiyan 4 around like Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku in rotation who's able to carry damage for this team, because I feel like this guy is really truly a slot like one tank character until you get him fully stacked up. But given the basis of this team being really good for long fights, I still think you could actually end up using Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta plus the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta as well. Then for your floater characters, I think you could pretty easily put Tech Pan here. Tech Pan is a decent option, or just overall good option, right? She is providing this multi-turn support here. She does get this passive, which allows her to Rainbow Orb change, which is going to be really nice. In fact, you know, if you do have this Pan floating around, you could have, like I said, I mean, ideally, I feel like what you want to do is you want to have Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku around here. We can go ahead and put him on the team. In fact, yeah, just do that, because I feel like GT Heroes by itself, while you can have a strong core with it, it's not going to be your #1 de facto pick. I think this guy is going to work really well. They do not share GT Heroes, but theoretically you could do this, and then okay, this guy gets the I said GT Heroes, but the GT Link, you could have this guy slot too. Maybe have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, go a double Super Saiyan 4 Goku rotation. In that situation, this guy would actually be able to have the Kamehameha link. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I could show the Super Saiyan 4 Goku specifically, like the actual exchange version, which does suck. I wish that would be a way that could be updated so we could see, okay, you know, here's the tag version of this guy, but you can do something like this, and I think this is already a pretty good core. Like these 4 characters, really powerful here, and then you could sub in just a bunch of other characters. You know, Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku. Maybe you could even have Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku around, and we're looking good there. You know, this guy in the middle will be able to get Kamehameha, which is a very you know, important attack link, I think, for a lot of these Goku characters, Gogeta characters, etc. Again, we could just continue looking here. I mean, obviously you have the Blues, who could just be a very nice floater on the team as well. I mean, if anything, you could just say, hey, I'm not even gonna run, you know, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or I don't like Daima Goku or something like that. Like, well, okay, I should clarify, I do like Daima Goku myself, but like if you're someone who doesn't like Daima Goku and you're like, okay, I could run the Blues in slot 1, have 4 Vegeta right there. The Blues, you know, of course, are missing like a couple of links that'd be nice for them, but it's not like the biggest deal in the world. They're more of a defensive tool character. And then maybe you have Super Saiyan 4 Goku out here. Then it's like, okay, you're getting GT from all these floating characters here. Or again, you could have, instead of Pan, if you're comfortable enough with all the overchanging going around, you could have Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku in this team. And now we're getting all these grade 8 power links here. And it's just like a nice little thing that we have going on here. This team is just so expansive. I mean, we could just continue to scroll down. You could even put the new UI Goku and Evolution Vegeta on this team, right? We can go ahead and bring Ultra, if it lets me spell it properly. This guy, right, like either of these two right here, like you could have this Vegeta on the team right here. Then we're getting, what link is it? Royal Lineage. Could be cool, like a 5% attack link. Nothing really too crazy, of course. But then, again, you could also just have UI Goku as a slot 1 character. Like, bam. They're not, again, sharing a lot of links, but this guy doesn't really need links like that. Now, you could also just have a rotation like this. You have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta floating around. Then you have UI plus the Blues. You could even run... Well, actually, you can't run Agile UI Goku here. You got to keep that in mind. The reason why you can't run Agile UI Goku on this team is because he's not on Power Beyond Super Saiyan. The only reason why this new UI Goku is on that team is because he's a tag with Evolution Vegeta. But again, you could do something like this right here, or you could even just run. You can still run Tech Pan, funny enough, because the thing about Tech Pan is she's giving her supports. I mean, you have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks as well. You could run Daima Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But yeah, I can't speak. I cut myself off because Tech Pan again is still providing all allies key support. Or maybe you don't have Super Saiyan 4 AGO Gogeta. Okay, well, you could run something like this. Then you could throw on, you know, that Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, this Pan right here. Or, you know, if you feel like you need a little bit of a stronger defensive tool, Orange Piccolo with his giant form, you could just throw on the team. He's giving multi-turn multiplicative support. He might not be providing a lot on links, but that giant form could be super useful. Like, I feel like there's so many team setups you could do. I mean, if anything, you could even have, or I already had this guy in the team. You could even have like these Vegetas floating around, these two right here, and then just like a generic support floating character. I believe Kai Goku is actually on this team as well. So, I mean, you could theoretically just have Kai Goku as a floating option. Where is this boy? Where is Kai Goku? Oh, actually, if I go by Super AGL, I think we should be able to find him. Because he's on Power Wishes. Bam. Here's Kai Goku right there. Very, very safe option. Again, like there's just multiple ways you could build this team. Like we could take off like the blues here, and then we could put back on Super Saiyan 4 Ichigo Gogeta, or maybe we can go ahead and get Super Saiyan 4 Goku back on here. Like, you guys are getting the point, but feel like mostly for the main part, you want a Super Saiyan 4 core for this team just to make sure you're getting all these links available. And ideally a Super Saiyan 4 that could be put in slot 1. I think people don't really like this Daima Goku in slot 1, but I think he can work. Now, the biggest issue with Daima Goku and this guy that we do need to bring up is the fact that the Goku portion of this card does change STR key spheres, right? Vegeta doesn't mess with Daima Goku because he only changes AGO and physical. But this guy does change STR and Tech key spheres to INT key spheres, which is a big issue for this guy. Because obviously if he's not getting all that key, it could be problems. But then, you know, if you think about it, this guy is giving 3 key as well, which is really huge for this guy. And then we also have, again, Tech Pan, who's a Rainbow Orb changing, if you want to throw her on here. Like, it won't be that bad if you're building around his key, and he could struggle still to hit that max super attack, but it won't be the biggest deal of all time. I mean, if anything, if you're running like another rotation, like something like this, you can set the orbs up for this guy. Or let's see, who else could you throw here? Like the physical Super Saiyan 4s. Eventually, they'll also be able to Rainbow Orb change. Like, you guys are seeing the point here. This team is a super easy to build any core for because it just has so many options. And we're not even getting to the idea that the Spirit Bomb characters will be getting an easy A, right? We can see this guy right here, and then the GT duo. Now, they don't do a lot in terms of links, but these guys will be able to give a ton of support once we get the Revive standby out, which is really nice. And then with this in mind, once the GT duo do actually get their Extreme Z Awakening, we can actually pretty solidly run a GT Heroes team. Then with just GT Heroes by itself, I'm sure there's some of the support characters you'll still be able to just kind of throw on the team. This is also not considering that any other GT character could get an easy A or a super easy A. Maybe Tech full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku does end up getting a super easy A or something like that. Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, you could just throw on this team. You can go ahead and get, I don't know, I mean, if this guy eventually easy A's, he'll be slot 1 on the team. That can be really useful. You could even just throw INT Gogeta 4 in here, and then, okay, on this rotation specifically, you just have this guy in slot 1, and bam, you're looking good to go. Like, there's just a lot. I mean, even this STR Trunks in certain fights will be fine as well. Funny enough, he would actually give Royal Lineage to this Vegeta right here, so that's pretty funny. But you guys are kind of seeing how things are going here. I don't think I really have to explain too much. Now, there's other teams that this guy could actually go ahead and fit on. But really, you just want to use him with Super Saiyan 4s. As long as you have him linked up with another Super Saiyan 4 character, he'll be good to go. I mean, you could even run like the AGO Gogeta team, have these guys floating. Then, you know, if we're under like an AGO Gogeta team, we could literally bring up, I think, AGO Gogeta right now. I could just show you guys this visually. Let me get AGO Gogeta, and then we have AGO Gogeta here. Okay, let's imagine that we have this AGO Gogeta set up. We have them both as floaters. We actually do have the Super Saiyan 4s here. We can go ahead and get into Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta on here. Maybe we have the Gogetas like that. Then our other rotation could really be multiple characters. Like we could actually just do UI Goku, and then we could do the blues right there. And then like as a final support option, I'm trying to really think who we would use as just like a last support. I mean, you could even run Tech Gogeta as well. Like you could have a setup like this, and then just like super power these guys with their active skills. This guy will be able to provide actually he won't be providing support since it's only support before he, well, it's only support after he attacks specifically. But you guys are kind of seeing, you know, I'm trying to think of like a generic random support character that we could just throw on the team, but there's not really a lot at the top of my head that are just like, oh yeah, you could just throw this guy on here and he'll be just fine. I mean, we could, again, just literally put the Force on here. That works too. Like, many options here. Even like AGO Beerus would support Vegeta and these two as well. Like, I was thinking earlier about that AGO banner unit Beerus. He's actually not the worst option. You know, it's possible that this guy gets his EZA. You could use AGO Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in certain fights as well, because they will actually be able to link up together. And he's giving some support, which is cool. He's not the best character, definitely more weaker than stronger, but in fights where you could kind of hide him, he might actually be still a decent option. So that's really nice. But anyways, that is just the Super Saiyan 4s there. Again, a lot less to talk about in terms of like what other options you run, because again, I mean, again, on this guy's team, it's, oh, I just run the best characters in the game. Like, it's fine. Like, this guy will survive in multiple different situations. Goku, though, we do need to keep in mind, he needs to be a slot 2 character. So that's why it'd be ideal, like I said earlier, if you run a character that can slot 1 for Goku. Because after Goku attacks, this boy is basically at 80% damage reduction. If he gets the additional super attack, right? Otherwise, he's only at 70% dodge and damage reduction, which is still really high. But I think more often than not, even with just like the like how do I explain it? Even if this guy's at 55%, you have the skill orb with the 5 additional or something like that. Like, you could get this guy to get his additional pretty consistently. Or if we also consider the active skill, that does count as an attack, and this is supporting, so that's good too. But yeah, another good thing I'm thinking about these guys as well is that Vegeta is stacking this attack right here. So with Vegeta stacking this attack, we will be able to power up a lot of these active skills, such as, you know, even these actives, this guy's active, the blue Vegeta's active, Gogeta 4's active. Like, it just works really well. And especially if you're running 2 Vegetas and they're getting their EX supers off pretty consistently, I think in very long fights we could see some very nasty things. But who knows? There's so much to talk about. I mean, I didn't even bring up characters like Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta. I didn't even bring up a character like, I guess you can't really run Rose on this team. You could probably get away with physical VB around here. You know, Power Beyond Super Saiyan doesn't have as many options as you would think right now, to be really honest, though. We're really looking at it, but I mean, there's tons of EZA potential that could come with this team as well. I mean, and Super EZAs too, like, there's a lot. I mean, INT Majin Vegeta would fit this team in the future. These 2 Super EZAs are upcoming. People are thinking we might see the LR Super Saiyan 4s get their Super EZA. This guy is going to get an EZA and fit the team as well, though I would assume he would be more suited to the Realm of Gods team that just came out. We're going to get a new God Goku later this year, which will fit this leader skill. God Goku is also on Power Wishes anyways, so that could be a good option as well. You know, LR Bulma should be getting an EZA. Like, she's, well, I said should be, but like, LR Bulma and the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, like, they're in lines as well to get EZAs next year. Yeah, Bulma came out before anniversary, and the that's funny. Bulma came out before the anniversary on a global. She was better than these. That is so crazy. But let me know what y'all are thinking. Appreciate y'all for watching. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is pretty cool. Again, don't expect yourself to build this team around this guy being the main damage god. He feels more of a supportive slot 1 tanking role, and then at the end of the fight you let Goku out and Goku does some decent damage himself, whilst also again providing a ton of support to the other characters on the team. Anyways, catch you guys next time, and of course, peace out.